Welcome back. This is the V-Gamer X with some more Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I have switched to Deadpool for Ms. Marvel and the Human Torch. Before we head over to our mission in Atlantis, and yes, I'm using the Fire Guy in Atlantis. But first, I'm going to do some socializing as I'm usually going to do. Talk to some Black Widow.
We just received a message from Namorita, the cousin of Namor. Apparently, there is a riot going on in Atlantis.
What's the cause?
Unknown, but for some reason, the Atlanteans have forcibly removed Namor from his throne.
But the Atlanteans love Namor.
Yes, which means something is seriously wrong. See Wyatt when you are ready to go to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s outpost in Atlantis.
Why would the Atlanteans attack Namor?
We do not know. He has been a fair and just ruler for many years. The people love him.
He's pretty headstrong. Maybe he finally went too far.
Perhaps. But Namor has always been kind to his people. There has to be some other explanation for this mass hysteria.
Are the Atlanteans friendly?
When Mer people and surface dwellers first met, there was quite a bit of hostility. There were even several invasion attempts.
But we're allies now, aren't we?
The relationship between our two races is lukewarm at best. The Mer people prefer to keep us at arm's distance.
How will we get around Atlantis?
Once you reach our Atlantis outpost, you will be infected with a special nanotechnology. Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Pym had a hand in developing it.
What's this technology do?
It will allow you to breathe water with no discomfort. You will also be able to move along the bottom of the ocean, as if you were moving on dry land.
I already got the whole decryption module stuff.
You are quite welcome.
I think something's supposed to happen.
Hello, Deadpool.
Yeah, this is what I wanted.
Black Widow, I feel we've known each other long enough that I can ask you, are you putting on weight?
You are quite welcome.
No girl wants to hear that, Deadpool.
Well done on the Omega mission. We had the same success in Atlantis.
We'll do our best, Colonel Fury. Why does S.H.I.E.L.D. have an outpost near Atlantis?
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s directive is to keep the world peace. To do that, we have to monitor the activities of every major civilization.
What would the Atlanteans do if they discovered the outpost?
I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy, and that's why they aren't going to find out about it.
Any new information on the Masters of Evil?
We realize now that Doom had no intention of commandeering the helicarrier. They attacked to draw additional security forces there.
And that would leave the Omega base vulnerable?
Correct. The Omega and the experiments it held was their prime objective all along.
How's the Omega base?
Dugan's still trying to sort things out, but apparently the base sustained only minor damage.
Did it locate the rest of the base personnel?
Yes. They've been locked in a cold storage unit on level 3. Aside from some minor cases of frostbite, everyone was fine.
Thank you, Colonel Fury.
You're welcome.
As you see from the X on the map, I can go in there now, which I'm going to do.
Welcome, my friend. Do you require information?
Who's Namor?
Namor is the first known hybrid of Homo sapiens and Homo mermanus, humans and mer people. He can breathe water and air, but if he's away from water too long, he will begin to weaken.
How does he feel about humans?
As with most mer people, he has an inborn distrust of surface dwellers, and true to his belligerent nature, Namor can take his distrust to the extreme.
Who are the Atlanteans?
The Atlanteans are distant cousins to your race. Having evolved on the ocean floor, it is impossible for them to breathe air.
In what other ways do humans and mer people differ?
Because they live in the extreme conditions of the ocean, mer people are very hardy. They are stronger than humans, can swim up to 30 miles per hour, and live to be over 150 years of age.
Thank you, Vision.
I am glad to be of assistance.
Hi, it's good to see you. Do you need something?
What's the mutant amplifier do?
The mutant amplifier vastly augments any mutant's natural power. So a psychic that can lift a book will become powerful enough to lift a bus.
That's incredible.
Yes, but it has some serious side effects. The amplifier causes damage to the DNA of any mutant it's used on.
What will Dr. Doom do with the super soldier serum?
Not much. The serum's only worked on Captain America. There's something very peculiar about his physique. That, plus the doctor who originally developed it, dead.
But what if Doom uses it in its present form?
He'd wind up with a bunch of muscle-bound beasts, just like you saw in the Omega. They're psychotic, violent, unable to take orders. Not exactly what you'd want in an army.
Thanks, Hank.
There's no problem at all.
I'll do some more socializing in the Iron Man lab. What up, Spidey?
Welcome, and good day to you. I am Edwin Jarvis, personal butler to Mr. Anthony Stark. This area is where Mr. Stark carries out the research and development of his Iron Man suit. As you can imagine, the body armor has become so complex that a staff of technicians is required. You may walk around and inspect the facilities. I believe you'll already find several of your compatriots here.
Who are you and how'd you get in here?
The name's Jack Hammer, but you can call me Weasel. Everyone does. Yeah, and don't worry, I came in through the back. No one saw me.
What do you want?
Wyatt Wingfoot gave me a damaged laptop. Said you heroes wanted to know what data was on it.
Did you find anything out?
Yeah, that laptop holds security information for a building called the Imperium.
What's the Imperium?
I can find out, but you'll have to get me the password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. Oh, there's three possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help.
Dr. Jarvis.
I do hate to impose, but if you see a cufflink somewhere in Stark Tower, could you return it to me? It was lost by Mr. Stark, and it has extreme sentimental value to him.
Right. Who are you?
My name is Edwin Jarvis, and I'm Mr. Anthony Stark's butler, as well as the butler for the Avengers.
How'd you become a butler?
You could say it runs in my blood. My mother and father worked for Mr. Stark's parents.
What is Stark Tower?
It is a dream of Mr. Stark's that was 4 years in the making. The top 3 floors are his living quarters. The rest of the building houses his business interests.
Business interest? Doesn't he deal in weapons development for the government?
No, not any longer. Mr. Stark recently had a change of heart concerning that particular field of industry.
Where is this section of Stark Tower?
This is primarily where new Iron Man suits are built for Mr. Stark.
I thought Stark designed the suits himself.
Oh, indeed he does. But as his designs have grown more and more complex, he has required assistance in manufacturing them.
Thank you, Jarvis.
It was my pleasure.
Dr. Weasel right here.
Weasel, old buddy. I haven't seen you in weeks. Where have you been hiding?
In the hospital, you stabbed me in the leg. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. But I had to. You were trying to eat the last cheesy puff.
It was my bag of cheesy puffs.
Well, that's not how I remember it.
Who does his laptop belong to?
It definitely belongs to the Black Widow. It's got her fingerprints all over it.
Did you get any data from it?
For most techs, it would have been a lost cause. But for me, I managed to drag up a few tidbits of information.
Well, what was on Black Widow's laptop?
It mostly dealt with a building called the Imperium.
The Imperium? What's that?
I don't know. But that laptop had the layout of the building and all kinds of information about the security.
Can you find out what the Imperium is?
I can, but you need to get me Fury's password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. I bet I'll find everything you want to know.
Well, we can't ask him for the password. Do you have any idea what it would be?
My sources tell me it's one of 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones.
So which one is it?
That's what I need you to find out. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help.
Screw talking to people. I'm just going to guess it.
thanks. When you get back from Atlantis, I'll have all the information you need. Sure. Anytime.
There's a big chance I'm going to get that wrong, but what the heck. Link to the past. I want that disc. No. Talk to Spidey.
Has Tony Stark got it made or what? He's rich, he's a genius, and to top it all off, he's got the perfect mustache.
You seem a little tense.
Gee, I can't see why. Dr. Doom's in control of an army of supervillains, and the Black Widow is working for him.
It's not that bad.
Are you off your meds? The only thing that would make this worse is if the Earth were destroyed to make way for an intergalactic highway.
Deadpool is definitely acts like he's off his meds, but he does not. Do you really think the Black Widow's a traitor?
Of course she is. Hey, I've been at the superhero game long enough to know that the hot chicks always turn evil. Probably because evil pays better.
Why don't you tell Colonel Fury about her?
If one of Nick's little S.H.I.E.L.D. agents has turned to the dark side, then Nikki will have to figure it out for herself.
It's your responsibility to tell Colonel Fury about the Black Widow.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You have great power, and with great power, there must also come...
If you finish that sentence, I'm going to put so much web in your hair, you'll have to shave your head.
First of all, Deadpool doesn't have any hair, and he can't shave it. Well, that's pretty much it.
Sure.
Hey.
I didn't mean to do that. But that threat was completely pointless. Black Panther.
I must admit, I find news of a S.H.I.E.L.D. outpost near Atlantis very intriguing.
Yeah, I like Black Panther's voice in this game. He sounds more like a king. In the new game, I didn't really like his new... In the second game, I didn't like his new voice. What's interesting about a S.H.I.E.L.D. outpost?
Now I know the extent S.H.I.E.L.D. is willing to go to gather information on countries with closed borders.
Doesn't your country Wakanda have closed borders?
Indeed it does. And now I wonder if perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't have an outpost hidden there.
Why does Wakanda have closed borders?
We have the largest deposit of vibranium in the world. To open our borders would be an invitation to those who would conquer us.
People have invaded Wakanda?
Over the centuries, fools have tried. But the Black Panther is always there to stop them.
Are you concerned about Dr. Doom?
Indeed I am. Victor Von Doom has created a sizable army of supervillains.
What do you think he's up to?
I don't know. But Doom must have a truly grand scheme to risk attacks on the helicarrier and the Omega base.
Thanks, Black Panther.
You are quite welcome.
Talk to the cat.
I know seeing the Super Soldier Project has raised some concerns about S.H.I.E.L.D., but let's get all the facts before we cause any trouble.
Do you think S.H.I.E.L.D. is a reputable organization?
I think S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot to deal with, and sometimes it makes mistakes. But historically, it's done a great job of keeping the peace.
Did you see they were turning volunteers into monsters on the Omega base?
I saw they were testing out a new version of the Super Soldier Serum, the same type of drug that gave me my strength and agility.
You took the Super Soldier Serum?
Yes. During World War II, I volunteered for Operation Rebirth. It was a program for creating physically superior soldiers.
What happened?
I exceeded their expectations. Unfortunately, Dr. Erskine, the man who developed the drugs, was killed, and no one's been able to recreate his work.
Do you think the Black Widow's up to something?
I have to admit, things sound kind of suspicious. Like, why was she carrying that laptop during the attack on the helicarrier?
So you think she's a spy?
No. I'd need a lot more evidence before I'd say something like that about the Black Widow.
Thanks, Captain America.
Anytime, friend.
Before I finish my conversing, signing off real quick.